boys and girls, we are going to incorporate rational numbers into what we already know about adding and subtracting integers. First, you might want to know what rational numbers are. Rational numbers are whole numbers, fractions, decimals, and they can be positive and negative. So now we're going to look at an example of adding and subtracting different rational numbers. Since we've already been practicing with whole numbers, we're going to look at examples that involve fractions and decimals. So first, let's start with adding. We know our rules when we're adding integers. The same sign, we add and keep. Different sign, we subtract. We already know that. Now, say if we have decimals involved. So say we have negative 4.5 plus 2.3. So here I have decimals. One is negative, one is positive. So that means they have different signs, so I'm going to subtract. 4.5 minus 2.3. Remember our rule, when we're adding and subtracting decimals, you have to line up the decimals. Here I get my answer of 2.2. Now since we're working with negatives, I look to the larger number, it's negative, so my answer is negative. Okay, let's look at a fraction. Say I have negative 2/3 plus negative 1/2. Again, my rule with fractions is adding fractions, I have to find a common denominator. I'm also working with negatives, so I also have to think about the rule, same sign, add and keep. So first, let's make these have a common denominator. I know these can both be 6. In order to get them to 6, I'm going to multiply by 2 on this side, multiply by 3 on this side. So now my fraction is 4/6, negative 4/6, plus negative 3/6. My rule with negatives, same sign, add and keep. So I'm going to say 4 plus 3 is 7. I leave this, so I have a negative 7/6. I can turn that into negative 1 and 1/6. Now let's talk about subtraction. Remember subtraction, we're going to keep, flip, change. Keep the first number, flip it to addition, change it to its opposite. So all of our subtraction problems, we're turning it into addition problem. Okay? Let's first start with some decimals. So say I have negative 5.8 minus 2.3. Okay? So I'm going to first change this to addition. So this is going to be negative. I'm going to keep, flip it to addition, change this to its opposite, or put this in parentheses just so I know this negative belongs there. I now have the same sign, so I'm going to add and keep. Remember our rule with decimals, we have to line them up when we're adding or subtracting. 8 plus 3 is 11. 5 plus 2 plus 1 is 8. They're both negative, so my answer is negative. Okay? Now let's do the same thing, but we're going to subtract with fractions. So let's say I have a positive 3/4 minus, let's do 5/6. Okay? So again, when I am subtracting, I have to make these denominators the same. So let's first do that. So I'm going to multiply by 6 over here and multiply by 4 over here. So now I have 18 over 24 minus 20 over 24. Notice, I cannot take 8 minus 20. So now I'm going to have to turn this into addition. So this is now going to be 18/24. Flip it to addition, minus a negative. Now I know my rule, different signs, I subtract. So now I'm going to take 20/24 minus 18 24ths, and I get 2 24ths. My larger number is negative, so my answer is negative. This could also simplify to negative 1/12.